Alright guys, so this is what not to do when you're metallic epoxying countertops. We got the metallic epoxy over at the Coal Hills in Phoenix, Arizona, and the gentleman there said we did not need to primer these countertops before applying this product, but as you can see we have a lot of rough spots and we should have primed it with the bonding primer and also put a acrylic primer on there as well. However, what we're going to try to do is salvage these and put a little bit extra of this brown metallic epoxy I had left over from another job over these countertops to see if we could save these. Now, it's not the ideal situation, but we'll see what happens. I have 45 seconds left of mixing this and we will go from there. But hopefully this works so we didn't just waste my personal countertops as a test, but that's all right. That's what you do. I should have listened to my gut and my 20 years of painting and did what I thought I should do, is actually put the bonding primer and the secondary primer on for coverage as well, so you would alleviate the spider webbing and whatever else, even though I sanded and put distilled alcohol over them and clean them as well really well. That didn't seem to help at all. So we should be good to go with this before it starts heating up, and we'll see what happens. Shut up. And we'll start just using the stir stick to put this stuff on sparingly. And I mean, I have a ton of this, so it may even actually fully cover this. This isn't going to be enough. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to stop this stuff right here and just pour it on, because I'm not going to have enough time with this. You have a very limited time to work with on this, and I just poured way too much there, but it comes out kind of quick. So you just got to kind of watch it. If you pour a little bit too much in certain spots, you can always spread it out. See how it goes. I'm going to just do that first, just to make sure I have enough for everywhere in the kitchen. This is plenty there. We'll go over here. See what happens. These light spots. And when you're doing your second coats, obviously it would have been better to let it dry and sand it, but I don't have that kind of patience, and you probably don't either, so that's why I'm doing it back to back within a few hours. Some of this drip off here onto this good stuff. You should use your paint stick to get the majority of it out. Just like most other guys do, because you don't want to waste any of this stuff. It's very expensive, and you know, I got most of it out, but we'll see what happens. So here we go. Damn shit is way too wet, but again, no patience with me. And I'm going to use my standard 4-inch natural hair brush and a soft woven roller and just start mixing it in. See what happens. See how it goes. Mix it all around. Do some swirls. Mix this shit. I should be using a trowel as well, but I don't have one right now. So I'm just kind of going with the flow. Just moving it around. Moving this shit around. Doesn't look like I have a whole lot of this stuff. And I don't think this is gonna work, but we'll see what happens. doing little circles. I got the brush in the hand just in case I need to get in some of these crevices and cracks. Get off me. But again, that's why I use the primer, so you don't have these big light spots. These light spots are what's going to kill you, because it's just not going to give you the effect that you want. You understand? So I got to keep moving because I'm doing this myself. And I want to make sure to spread all this stuff out before it starts setting up and eroding. That actually might look alright. Get off of me. I use way too much right here. But again, you know, it's all about artistry. I mean, it doesn't really matter, you know, how the finished look looks. It's just whatever you want. I mean, who cares? Who really gives a crap? Just make it look cool, man. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That looks good. I like that. That's looking cool. But again, I just hope it seals this shit, because I just don't know that it will. It's feeling pretty good. I don't really think I need this guy, but what I need is my bucket. Because if you have a little extra, what you're going to want to do is just bring your roller out, kind of use it in another spot. Periodically go back on the edges because it has a tendency to bulk up there. And this guy's kind of happy with him. He looks pretty freaking cool. I think he'll dry pretty good. So I'm going to go to this one. Move him around. And, you know, see what happens. Splash him around. This guy here. Pan my buttocks. Normally you won't see these 3 or 4 inch backsplashes because they're kind of out of style. I would have cut them off, but the way they made these countertops, you can't do that. It just wouldn't work out. So I'm going to eventually put granite over these, so I'm just testing it for the company. And you should also take your sink out, but like an idiot, I didn't. And so we're going to smush down some of this shit. You got to really hurry up, guys, because you don't have much time. It's going to want to start to set up on you. So that's why you see me rushing. And, you know, trying to be as quick as I can, because it just sets up so darn fast that you gotta be quick with it. And I'm moving, swirling, doing the sides here. You'll see it start to try to stay in one puddle, and that's what you don't want. You don't want it to stay in a puddle, because if it does that, then it just won't melt and level together. It just won't do it. So you're gonna bang it with this weenie roller. Do a little dippers. Just make sure it all gets the right thickness. All right. Set this one over here. We're gonna go to this guy next. Come on, Chris, head over here. Get a view of this and see what this guy looks like. All right. Just pushing that product, because the product's gonna do all the work. If you're quick enough, it will do the work. And do a little roll. There's not much you can do with the swirling on this stuff, so you just kind of, you roll it and then just give it a little, you know, a couple little doodads like that. Still a little bit of puddleage, so I'm trying to push that in, level it out. Yeah, I like this. I think this is gonna actually sweat together really nicely, and we'll see what happens. But I'm actually liking the way this is looking. This is working out better than I had thought. I think it'll be good. Of course, at the end we'll have to do a sand coat, but be careful. Let's get this last guy out of the way without tripping on anything, and we'll go from there. I think this is gonna be all right. So let's see what happens. See, as you see there, these lines are not good because I've been waiting too long to spread it like an idiot. So I'm starting to get these lines, and hopefully I can get them out. Ah, shit, probably not. I don't think so. Maybe they'll level out. We'll see with time. Again, this is not a product I'm selling. I just use from Phoenix, a local company, because we're a local business. I like to support the local companies. I'm not going to order some stuff on the web. We want to support the local businesses in Arizona. So, just going to keep rolling, moving, swirling. Swirling, and as it starts to drip on the sides, you just go back and kind of get these drippers. And then you want to squeeze it. That's why you should take your sink out so you don't have this shit. Like an idiot, I left it in because I was lazy, because it's my own house. But you shouldn't do that. So, let's see what happens. This is looking really cool though. Hit these guys a little bit. This looks really wicked right here. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but I'm not touching that. That looks awesome. That looks amazing. Alright. I'm not touching that either because that actually looks really wicked too. I'm going to leave that. I like the way that's looking. I think that'll dry really nice. Let's see how this guy is doing here. And he's doing good too. These are all doing really well. So, the only thing I want to make sure of is, because I didn't take this sink out, you don't want to build up here where it's going to be too thick and you can't get that tape off, which I'm already going to probably have a problem with it anyway. And see, this is starting to set up, guys. You got about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. That's about it. And you're done. You gotta just let it do what it's gonna do. Like, I got this clump here, and there ain't shit I can do about it because I'm gonna have to let it dry. No, maybe not. Let's see if I can freaking get that out. No. Oh, a little bit. Let's see if I can get that off the roller and try to get that fucker off there. Just let it go. That was some kind of fuzzball, but shit, this is looking kind of cool, guys. I think I'm almost done, and what we're gonna do is just let it dry and do its thing. And I'm not gonna fuck with it because it's already melting. So once it starts to melt, you get to a certain point, guys, where you gotta just let it go. You gotta let it go, do its thing, and just go from there, because otherwise you're gonna fuck it up. It's a little thick over here, but I think that'll be all right because I think that kind of looks cool. So I'm just gonna leave it. And yeah, I mean, I like it. It's looking good. It's definitely different. each one of these you guys do, the product is going to basically do itself. You can't really screw it up. The only thing you would do is waste money because you'd have to buy another kit and sand it and redo it. However, you don't want to do that because it's very expensive, obviously. So, don't be afraid. But the other thing is, just don't stop to have a cigarette or take a break, 5-minute break. Once you start this, you cannot stop it. You have very limited time. I'm talking 10 minutes tops to do a kitchen this size, or 100 to 150 square feet is about what you get a kit if it's a 2-gallon kit. However, I usually get 100 square feet because I like to lay it on thicker and it's a little stronger for my clients. So that's up to you, but I would recommend 100 to 120 square feet tops per kit if it's a 2-gallon. Sometimes they sell 3-gallon kits, but this is a 2-gallon. Actually, this is one kit, but 4 coats. So we'll see how it turns out. We'll get back to you. Thanks. See you later. Okay. All right, guys. So what I wanted to show you again, this is what not to do when you're putting metallic epoxy on your countertops. As I showed you in the video earlier, what we didn't do was put a bonding primer on this before we apply the metallic epoxy. So what happens is you get these spots right here like this that just did not adhere to it, even though I cleaned it and sanded it. It just wasn't enough. You got to use that bonding primer. Also, you can see as it dried, when it was drying, I took a torch and created some lines just to mess around with it while I was knowing it was already going to be ruined. Just figured I'd play with it a little bit. But and you can see over here, another thing that happened is that it started hardening in the bucket before I was able to pour it on the countertop, and so you get these big thick areas here that are not good. So we're going to sand these down, and I'll post another video of how to do it correctly. But again, I mean, it's not horrible, but it just doesn't have that nice effect because you have these bad spots around the countertops. So again, what not to do, but as you can see, we took everything out this time to do it right, and we'll see how the next one goes. Good luck, and thanks for watching.